Hello again, everybody. Welcome to yet another edition of Coming Together. We're delighted to welcome you all. Kathy, along with Scott, and collaboration is the name of the game today. So, my co-host, partner, what do you got there for us?
Hello, hello. It's nice to be here with you again. So one of the other components of leadership that's really important, particularly if you have teams executing strategies.
And I should add that for those of you that have never seen our show before, when she says leadership, it's something we talk about each and every week. But there's so many variations of leadership and what it's all about and how you succeed successfully and with great purpose.
Exactly. Collaboration is, especially if you have teams, is a critical component of execution and making sure that all the goals are on target and executed the way you want.
Yeah, so coming together the way you want.
Exactly. We want all of our team members to collaborate and cooperate with one another and not compete. Because what happens, especially if you have a talented team, several talented players on your team, what happens is sometimes there is conflict in what and whose ideas are better. And so it's really important to really cultivate collaboration and teamwork, because if you don't, then you run into stagnation, derailing of your strategies, and even not hitting your target on time. So part of collaboration is really understanding. Again, one of the virtues that I love in collaboration is a sense of humility. Yes, you're very talented. I'm very talented. I have a lot of great ideas. You have a lot of great ideas. So it's really an understanding that you're not the only one with the great ideas. Everybody else may have those good nuggets, good strategies, or different things that go into bringing the project into fruition in a positive way and on time and on target.
And what the final outcome is going to be is what everybody wanted it to be or not.
Precisely. If it's a project delivering something for a client, we want to make sure that we're also taking that into consideration. So collaboration is key. And a lot of teams want to collaborate, and what happens is egos get in the way. And so quieting the ego, developing a healthy relationship with our ego with a great sense of humility is really important when it comes to collaboration.
No, that's never an issue here, is it?
Never. We never have.
Just checking. So how do you decide? You talk about all those egos. Set those aside for just a sec. When you do collaborate, and everybody's got an opinion, you've got one, and being right around the table. But how do you decide, or who makes the final decision, probably the superior, whoever it might be, but as to what is really the way you want to go? I don't want to say the right way, but it's the one that's going to be the most accepted and the one that it's really going to be proven to be, that's what we have to have if we're going to move forward as we want to.
Yeah, that's a very important point. So I think that alignment is key when it comes to teamwork, whether it's a leadership or a team working on a certain project. We need to, as leaders, initiate alignment. And what do I mean by alignment? What I mean by that is having a vision and having a clear, not just to you, but everyone else on the team. What is our goal? What is our initiative? What is the project? Getting agreement on what that is. And even the predecessor to that is having a value system that we want to incorporate and align on. What do we agree on? We all agree that our ideas are important. We all agree that our point of view is important. We all agree that we bring something. We're all talented on this team. We all take pride, joyful pride in our work. We are committed to excellence, and so is everybody else on the team. And so what does a successful outcome look like? Having a vision to what is the end project? What is that? And agreeing on that, aligning on that, so that when people get distracted from the particular assignment, let's say, that they're collaborating on, then they can quickly say, you know what, we're getting off track here. Recognize it. quickly so that you don't get the whole thing derailed because you got off on some conversation or some idea that was not part of the plan. And sometimes, not to say you of course want to practice flexibility, be flexible to the outcomes. Sometimes something brilliant comes from various conversations, but keeping things with the end in mind is really key. So collaboration takes it has a lot of moving parts. That's why I think it's such a challenge for leadership. So first is for the leader to have that end in mind. And what do we agree on? What are our values? What do we value in our organization in this assignment event or in this project event? What do we value most in this particular space or whatever it is? So those all come together, and leaders need to understand that none of these things are transferable. So I cannot tell you, Scott, that, you know what, Scott, it's you need to really have a more positive attitude about this. And you automatically say, oh, okay, I'm going to adopt a positive attitude about this. So that's an internal process. It's a visceral process, and that we need to agree on. And so the more you do that work up front, the less problems you'll have in collaboration. And of course, empathy is always an ingredient in any project or initiative when it comes to leadership. So practicing empathy, both on the design perspective and also each other.
And one of my favorites, respect.
Respect, yes. Respect.
You knew what I was going to say.
Yes. Honoring and respecting
everybody else's opinion.
Everyone on the team, because you never know. So the quietest person in the room oftentimes actually does have the best ideas.
The greatest idea.
Yes. Yep. Because they're thoughtful usually, they're introspective, they're thinking about, they're contemplating on various things and don't always speak about it, and encouraging everyone about sharing their ideas. And people have to feel psychologically safe to do so, because often we think of something innovative and we're thinking, well, this other people may not think it's so great. It may sound like a stupid idea, so we do a lot of self-judgment and self-deprecation. But when people feel psychologically safe, when they're dealing in an environment where empathy is practiced versus judgment and criticism, then they're not afraid to make mistakes. They're not afraid to talk about an idea. Maybe it's not a good idea. So what? Maybe out of that just articulation of what you think is a bad idea, maybe something good is going to come out of it. I think, and that's oftentimes the case in teams that I've led and all the creative projects that I have led, whether it was in an engineering company or a tech company. A lot of times great innovative things that no one thought about came out of just these little conversations. And what if we did it this way? Maybe not. How about this? How about that? So I think collaboration, you need to be feel like you're safe. You're in in friendly waters. We're all swimming in a friendly water. We're playing in a safe sandbox, and we're just trying to come up with excellence. Being committed to excellence is a beautiful thing. And if everybody aligns and agrees to that viscerally, not being told, I need you to be aligned, that it's not, or these are the 5 steps to alignment. It's a visceral process. And of course, all of these things is inner work that all leaders need to do in order to come to that point, which we do in the Power of Authenticity. We encourage all leaders to consider some type of deep introspection for their employees and team players, because I think that it really gives rise to all these beautiful things we want to see. Teamwork and collaboration is needed in every culture, every team, every company if they want to succeed. If there's more than one of you, unless you're a solopreneur.
Understand.
Which is good, but even then you have other collaborators who help you. They may not work with you directly, but you still have team. You can't do everything by yourself.
Right. And that's understandable by, I'm sure, anybody that is viewing or listening to this. You and I collaborate.
Yes.
When we put these things together.
Absolutely.
What's good, what's not so good, what do people really need to hear, what do they don't need to hear it all.
Exactly.
And I think that's most important. But we don't do it individually. We might think about it individually, but then we come together, collaboration, and that's the key.
It is. It's
So
important.
look at the camera over here.
Yes.
And tell our listeners and viewers, just very quickly, in the next 60 seconds, the 3 things that are most important when it comes to collaboration, and when you collaborate with folks, what are the 3 things that you're going to want to remember so they can move forward in a positive, productive way?
The first thing is to align all team members with the value system, the assignment, agreeing on, we're committed to excellence in this team. This is the project, this is the outcome we desire, and we're all committed to showing up every day open, empathetic, and we want to move this project forward in the best way that we know you're able to. So getting people aligned on that, making sure that everybody understands that they're valued. I think that when people understand that they're 100% embraced and valued, and they're playing in friendly waters, they feel safe enough to talk about their great ideas and share in a meaningful way, and they're not competing with other people's ideas within the team. So I think those are some of the most important things to collaboration, is feeling safe, having alignment, and practicing respect and flexibility. Those are really, really important components of collaboration.
Collaboration, that's what we've been talking about as we were coming together. Collaborating, that's what it's all about. So until next time, for this edition of Coming Together, on behalf of Kathy, I'm Scott. Stay safe, be well, and collaborate with great spirit, as just integrity-drivenly as you can.